Hello, hello, my green skins, and we are back for another Orc War Chief reviews. Sorry, it's taking a little longer for editing and stuff. We have, life hurts. So life hurts, and a hobby's fun and all, but unless it's paying the bills, we're kind of we kind of gotta live. So we're doing a what if again. What if Beastmaster was made a video game? So, a little backstory about Beastmaster. Beastmaster is a story about a guy by the name of Dar, actually an actor who ended up doing V, if I remember correctly. Was that before or after Dar, Mr. Kaiser?
V was after Beastmaster by let me check how exactly far. This won't take more than 2 seconds.
Okay, so V was after.
Beastmaster was 1982. Let's see here, V didn't start until 1983, and then went on until 1985.
Yeah. Okay. So you got yourself a well-known actor who basically finds out he's the chosen one, and it's a good adventure, and it's a good movie actually. I actually would say go watch this movie. We also have a review of it on Orc War Chief Reviews. I think me, Dark, and another guy who was a part of it at the time. So, Dark, how do you want to do this? Where should we put this game?
I would put it as an action-adventure RPG type of game. So anything from the PS2 era onwards would be my personal comfort zone. And I think what would make this game fun is if it was just a retelling of the movies, but obviously a lot richer, a lot more content, as if like a much bigger extended cut of the movie. And you would go to different locations and collect items, upgrade items, and you would then
Zelda.
Yeah?
Zelda.
Of
You're
course,
describing
but bloodier and more violent and more adult.
More violent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a black tiger. Zelda does not have a black tiger.
Yeah, Zelda doesn't have a black tiger. He only has a black wolf, and a black short stack. Anyway, Kaiser, what's your thoughts on that? Where should we put this game?
Well, usually I'd say Side Scroller is a Super Nintendo game, but in this case, it could be either that, or it could be one of two things. An Xbox exclusive RPG, because screw Sony right now, or it could be a PC-based, over-the-top Dark Souls clone.
I wouldn't want to do a Dark Souls, but I say modern console would be a good idea because we haven't had a really popular barbarian game since Mark of the Kree or Mark of the Kai. I keep thinking Mark of the Kai. For some reason, my brain just keeps registering that, which is a really good PlayStation game, and we should actually, if you get a chance to play it, and you want to know what the PlayStation 2 thought Beastmaster was, play that game. It's very well done and really good.
It was.
I'm of the camp of making it, as much as Dark wants to do another, just Dar the story, I don't want to do Dar the story, because the reason I don't want to do that is because I like the idea of using Dar to be your mentor, the guy that gives you special moves, the guy that gives you information, the guy that helps you as he's wandering around doing stuff. A la very similar to the Beastmaster TV show, because that's actually what they did. That he actually, the actor came back to do it, not to reprise his role, but he came back in a role for the Beastmaster TV show. And I kind of like that idea of having this guy come back, but not as Dar, the warrior, but as some other guy to help train the player. This has to be single player. That's my first thing. The second thing is, I think character creation's a good idea. I think having your tribe, here's my way of looking at it. You have your tribe based off a mythos. And whatever your mythos tribe is, you could have something simple as, oh, okay, your tribe is this. So you would start off at a different location based off a little bit of the tribal location of what you are. So you'd have, for example, if your beastmaster became the chosen one, you have his tribe. If he's this, the tribe's over here, and that also gives you options of having multiple animals. So instead of players fighting, like that's the biggest fight everyone has with Skyrim. See, Skyrim is a good game. Like Elder Scrolls are glitchy as fuck, but usually really good. And the reason they're so good is because they have all this different side stuff. Now imagine if we did something similar to that, but you get different beast archetypes. So somebody, like, I could be playing my character, have a wolf, a fox, and maybe a sparrow or something like that, or a blue jay as my bird, and yet my friend next to me's got like some other animal. Some other set of animals that he portrays, and he gets that he's playing in his playthrough, giving you different
Just got an
options.
idea.
Go ahead.
Well, how about this? One of the starting character customizations at the start, animal affinities. Which animals do you start with affinity with?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. We don't want to do a new tribe, but why not have some way so that you could portray a different animal archetype? You could even do a little text box. You could just pick an animal, or you could actually completely randomize it by going through a little suggestionnaire, like a 5-second spoof thing.
Yeah.
Very similar to how Earthbound does it.
Earthbound was one of the greatest RPGs out there.
But Earthbound does do that, though. It picks your friends or family, what your favorite food is.
It just doesn't pick your nose.
Well, yes, it does, but that's for the later editions. So, boys, we got ourselves an idea. We got ourselves a thing. Now, Dark, you want to touch on the locations. I totally agree with you on that one. If we're not doing this and you don't end up in some of the most iconic areas, then you're not playing this game right.
Yeah, you need to have in order to finish certain locations, you need to solve puzzles or beat certain enemies, boss battles. And my favorite part is in most games, you'd have a village and an inn to go back to recuperate. In this game, you have that waterfall where he found the girls bathing with their boobs out and everything. This game would have just a bunch of girls with their boobs out. So yeah, that's replay value number one.
Yeah, but what I would say that's just one place. Like you could have temples, you could have so much that you could add to this scenario.
It has to have boobs.
I'm well aware.
Boobs.
There goes the T for teen rating.
Yeah, so you could do that, but what I'm saying
is... You're now officially Skyrim. Congrats.
Well, Skyrim doesn't have boobs.
No, but it has even worse. You can actually decapitate people in that game. I've actually done it.
Oh well, yeah, but that's nothing. Like I find vanilla. But anyway, we off topic. Too bad we didn't get some other stuff on that. But no, I agree that Skyrim could be using Skyrim's archetype is not the best idea, but we could use something similar to that. The Dara world itself, like it's a fascinating world. If you watch the original movie, it's interesting. And I like the barbarian setting. I like the fact that you could come into a town and what my suggestion would be is that your character would because your character's village got attacked, your character might go out of his way to save a village. And by saving said village, now you got another guy. Now you got other people that you can call in for help if you need it, or they might give you a new weapon. Like Dark said, every time you stop the Baron or the Lord or the Emperor, whoever the fuck he wants to call himself, whoever you want as the big bad, you have it be that where it's like, oh no, this is like by defeating that, here's this item. And by defeating that, oh, we're going to give you this bout pouch that you can make, or this item that you can get your hands on, and just kind of progressively go from there. And you could, like, I could imagine, like, imagine having a giant, like, I know they didn't have a big city in the original movie, but imagine, like, the way they wanted to do that, from what I've heard, is supposed to be huge. Could you imagine, like, having to constantly sneak into that city to cause raids and shit, and rob, and like, do all this stuff that fundamentally to fuck with the Emperor? Like, you know what I'm thinking of? A rally system where the more damage you do to the guy above, the guy who murdered your family, who did all this horrible shit, the more he's easier. You can get easy accessibility. That's my game. That's my thought process. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have really an opinion on that. As far as the gameplay goes, I just think that it should. To get an understanding of where I'm coming from, I'm picturing elements of things like Prince of Persia, Shadow of the Colossus, and even Zelda
Yeah,
to an extent,
I
like
think
a mishmash of all those.
yeah, but I wanna stay. I see. Partially, I agree with you on that one, but I don't want to do it completely open world, but I do want a big world. Like I want that freedom that comes with that. Like you
Yes,
could do
I
a
love the freedom.
yeah, like other than Breath of the Wild, which I still think did it wrong. Like I for multiple reasons. It's kind of funny how this is the game I want to be open world, yet Breath of the Wild was the game that I would rather have a lot closed way more fucking in, and found the game annoying as fuck. Uh, it's kind of funny, but no, I like the idea of that saving. I like the whole village saving thing. I like the whole like doing stuff to stop bad guys from doing stuff. Like you'll be walking down the street and you'll see the Emperor's men or the bad guy. We'll call him the Baron. We'll call the big bad the Baron, and it has to be played by Michael Ironside. But the Baron is moving through. The Baron is doing like you see these slave women that are being captured, and you go free them, and you use your animals to do that stuff.
So kind of like a quest-based experience system.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
similar to gaining that, where your character gets better weapons, and even then you could get tribes by liberating tribes.
experience.
Yeah, experience. Not as bad as the game. Don't make it too grindy because Jesus fuck. That's my biggest gripe to the game. The Far Cry series. It got so bombastic. Leave it in. It got so big and so cumbersome. I was like, shoot me, fucking shoot me. After a while, it's like after spending 9 hours going and looking for the same fucking trinket. I don't want to do that every fucking time. I'd rather have it just be a simpler quest system where you're just basically by defeating this person, they point you in a direction of the town. By defeating this person, they point you in the direction of a master that can teach you a little bit more weapons. By
Whatever you
going in and out
do,
of the yeah.
whatever you do, don't have the story constantly catch up to you and forcing you to go out of your way to do side quests. That should be left totally up to you at your own leisure.
Okay.
And that's one of the biggest
Okay.
mistakes that Pokemon what's it called? Sun
Mystery
and Moon
Dungeon?
Sun and Moon
Yeah.
did wrong.
Wound it.
That
Yeah.
the
You
most
got
annoying rival in the world kept bombarding you and it didn't let you play to your leisure. And
yeah.
and I hate it when games do that.
Well, That's why you create a rally system. That's why I said the rally system would be a good idea because the more fucking damage you do to this guy, robbing his men, giving their like you could be Beastmaster, the Robin Hood guy, where you go around fucking hammering it, bam, 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 just keep beating his fucking men past a rally point. You've made it past the quest. You can just keep playing the game. Like,
Now, I'm going to escalate the things a bit. Villain.
Mhm.
We need a... Okay, well, I'm thinking final piece we need to worry about, because we can work out
Yeah.
the meat and potatoes later.
Oh, we got
But
to meat potatoes. This game looks pretty. This sounds pretty sweet right now.
well,
Anyway, go
now
ahead.
the main course.
Mhm.
Every game I've ever played outside of Skyrim has always had an overarching villain.
Mhm.
We're talking the final big bad. After several
Well,
hours of side questing and main story work, you manage to get the levels and skills you need to succeed in the story arc. You
mhm.
finally come up to the big bad, and it's
It's
fill in the blanks.
yeah, I know. It's Michael Ironside. My thing is you have
Eh,
no, come on, you gotta have the villain. You gotta have the old school villain from the original movie.
uh, no, that was Rip Torn. But
Was it
I
Rip
was
Torn? Oh,
thinking, yeah, you
sorry.
can't do Rip Torn anymore. I'm sorry. God rest his
Yeah.
soul. The guy
Ah,
survived a lot and actually did well in his field of expertise.
yeah.
So I'm gonna say this, suggesting him as a potential candidate for resurrection is strictly taboo in my book. If we
Yeah,
want
I
a
agree.
good villain, we need to come up with someone original. Someone
No, but I'm
preferably
still.
played by James Earl Jones.
I don't want James Earl Jones. I want Michael Ironside. The reason I want Michael Ironside because Michael Ironside has that voice. James
So
Earl
did James
also
Earl Jones.
yeah, but James Earl Jones, we have the same problem. His voice isn't the same anymore. He's not what, like, when he was back in his earlier years, I'd be like, yeah, fucking right. It's like when he had that voice.
Yeah, I
But
get that,
now
but
his like do
Michael
you know they
Ironside
used
is
his
overused.
mm,
If I hate to say it, but
you
he
know who
is.
I'd want? You know who I'd want actually? He still has a good voice. Caleb. The guy who does the voice for Caleb is still voice acting.
How about
I'd say
Keith?
Clancy Brown
How about Keith David,
Keith David. Just remind me who Keith David is.
the
Goliath from Gargoyles?
or the voice of the
Yeah, he
animated
could
series
be.
Spawn.
Yeah, okay, Keith David could work. I could see Keith David being the big bad. A good big bad. Yeah, if you had him and then had him do stuff. But like I said, you could do so many cool things. My idea is to rally. Like, eventually your goal is not only is to enter the city, but is to eventually get to the capital. As much as the capital keeps barring your way, like, you could go there solo by yourself, walk up and kill the leader, and then frickin' leave. I see. I would love to do that in the game where this massive city, you enter into the city, you kill the leader, and then you escape, and that's the end of the game. And you could speed run this fucker within like a half hour. But
See, I'd say Carl Urban would make a great villain.
mhm.
I
Well,
mean,
maybe.
look at it. That guy has
Okay,
range.
okay. We're staying with Keith David because we don't want to
Keith
get
David
loose
would
in this
work.
stuff.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. We'll do Keith David. Dark was right. So
Yeah.
no, like, I like the idea of having a way of, you could finish this game right away, or you could build your character up, get this big bad build for yourself, and then build an army and take him out. Like, one way
Well,
or another, you could do that fun. It's
yes.
one or the other, kind of like. I just want that barbarian motif, as long as you keep having that. Also, I'd like it if you could go, like, you could find out more about who you are, your powers. Remember the creatures from the big creatures from the end? Could you imagine having that as a secret army that you could actually enlist?
Trying to remember, the final battle didn't just have the priest controlling everything. There was
No,
also that
no.
small army.
Yeah, there was the warlords, the barbarian horde. And you could
Well,
have multiple. Yeah, you could have that. Like, once you liberate the city, maybe the warlords show up. You could
yeah.
have an end game. You could actually add more DLC to this. Like this, what we're saying right now is fucking Beastmaster has so much potential, and it's sad that
Yeah, I'll give you
it's
that one.
sad. It's sad that it actually fucking really seems like it's something that doesn't get the love that it should. And I mean, now the only Beastmaster game we could find was one on Steam that looks like it's something similar to a phone app game. So I'm kind of like, ugh.
Probably based on a reality television series She show
No,
ID
no, no,
too.
no.
The thing
it's,
about
it's-
Beastmaster is that it's not a particularly high budget movie. It's almost it's a B movie of the '80s. So
it is a B movie of the 80s.
It's
but
Don
the thing is,
Coscarelli. What do you expect?
yeah, exactly. Like
The guy
like, we got,
made Angus Scrimm a big name.
he did.
Yeah.
And
He was the tall man from Phantasm for
yep,
4 movies.
yep. And that's the thing. We got like Dark. You're right.
I'm just
it is
saying
a B movie.
that such movies don't always make for they don't turn into franchises. They just don't have the support.
It did though. Dark. It did. You know, we got a sequel
Yeah,
and we got
I
a
said-
TV show.
Yeah, I said usually, and when they do,
Usually.
they're not exactly juggernauts in that field.
Well, look at Hercules. Hercules, like they actually had video games. The Hercules TV show had a fucking video game. So did Xena. As much as they're awful, they did. I think we could have a
Cheaply
Beastmaster.
made video games.
Yeah, they really are. But I think we could do a Beastmaster. And I think a Beastmaster game. Get on it, guys. You probably could. I think I don't even know who owns the rights to Beastmaster anymore. But this probably could get
MGM.
made.
That'll
Well,
probably
MJ
mean it's
Amazon.
actually I was gonna say Warner Brothers.
No, Amazon owns it. Remember, Amazon just bought
I'm-
MGM.
Beastmaster was I thought they were originally Warner Brothers MGM.
Yes, but MGM was bought off by Amazon.
Amazon?
Right now, so
God damn it, Bezos!
yeah. Well, how do you think he was doing the Lord of the Rings?
He wasn't. He wasn't.
No, he
unless you're
wasn't.
talking about Rings of Power.
Yeah, well, why do you think he wanted to do Lord of the Rings? But yeah,
That
that
guy's
failure.
gonna make a bid for world domination one of these days, and we're all just gonna bow down and let him.
No, we're not. Anyway, I'm waiting for my Amazon order, so I will have to call it now. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming on. Thank you, Kaiser. You can see Kaiser on Twitch. You can put your tell us where we can find you.
You can find me on Twitch at Kaiser Soulborn, aka that's twitch.tv/Kaiser Soulborn. You can find me on YouTube on Elderworm VT, and you can find me on Twitch at Elderworm VT. At the same time, all of us, guys, I just created a new weapon.
Okay.
1,
Oh,
2, 5.
Okay.
3, sir!
All right.
3!
Okay. Okay, stop yelling at us. Dark. You can find Dark on with me. He also has other stuff, but that's up to him to tell. And I think that's it. I think that's I think we got it, boys. Thank you everybody. Like, subscribe, and we'll have more videos for you guys later.